This all came about by virtue of the Local Community Radio Act, it was called, passed in 2010, and it was supported and endorsed by both John McCain and Barack Obama when they were colleagues in the Senate. So it had good bipartisan support. Fundamentally, these are sort of new low-power drop-in channels to the old table of allotments. And the theory was that modern radios are more selective than the radios that were in use back in the days when the FCC set up those original allotment and spectrum planning criteria, and that now you could drop these in. So after a lot of teeth gnashing, mainly from the incumbent broadcasters about will this create interference for us, they passed it all. And so I happened to be retiring from my role as a VP at National Public Radio right at the time that this got passed, and right at the time that they were opening the first window of applications in 2013. So I applied for it for Cambridge, where my wife was already living full-time. I was doing the little pied-à-terre thing throughout the week and teaching up at Towson University, and then after that class on Thursday nights, I would drive home for a 3-day weekend. So the timing was perfect. I think it was 1 month after I officially retired that we received the construction permit for building this. So at that point, we had 18 months to get it on the air, and we got it done in 17 months. It's funny, we just had our 5th anniversary, so we took the occasion to recognize the fact that all 9 of the original founding hosts are still here. So I did an interview with each one of them about what in the world got you into this and why are you still doing it. And I'd say to a person, they were all just passionate about this, just passionate about their genre of music. And several of them said, I was the one that whenever there was a party at college or something, I had to be the DJ. I had to be the one in control of the mix because I knew the music that everybody should be listening to. And usually they said, and so I cleared a lot of rooms out because I had a very eclectic taste. And they get to express that here. But here there's other people that they just pull in because they love this so much and they know so much about this and can talk endlessly about the musicians and the musicianship involved. So the cool thing is that people come back and keep doing it because they're so passionate about it. They've got to share this, and they really want to do it. So that's the interesting dynamic that sort of makes this work, and it's still been working after 5 years. So I think every single one of them showed up. I did in January of 2015, I put a little ad in the banner and said, community radio station coming to town. We've gotten our construction permit. And an informational meeting will be held at the library's public meeting room. So I was very nervous about, is anybody going to come to this thing? I did the usual PowerPoint, and my crazy ideas about maybe we could do a reading service if we had some volunteers to read. And, people that are into different kinds of music can get a shift, blah, blah, blah. So there was only about 22, 23 people that showed up that day. But those 9 who made the commitment said, oh, do you have a morning man yet? And I'm like, no. And he goes, what kind of music are you going to play? And my answer was, what kind of music you got? We're just there to be a good conduit. And a good conduit, is hopefully fairly transparent, that you don't even notice, miking technique or the quality of the recording or anything, because it's just faithful. But also that we do a good job of staying out of the way, that we give the people who are really the focus of the interview, if it's on Midshore Midday or an activity like you're talking about that day, we stay out of the way, but we work with them to make sure that we can help them present the real gems of their content for the audience. And I'd say on a good day, we're reasonably successful at that. Well, I'd say any radio station, whether it's commercial or community, is a companion and sort of a water cooler for thoughtful conversation, and it works best when the passion of the people here at the station on this side of the microphone when that just pours through, it becomes addictive, infectious, if you will, in a good way. Don't touch your face, then don't touch that dial. So I think that's what radio has always been, you know, from the time of the fireside chats in the early days where you could reach through the loudspeaker and talk to someone just like you're sitting there having a conversation in the kitchen with them. So on our best days, we try to serve that role, and it's a real privilege to be able to do so.